Good evening, ladies. How are you
Hey,
all this evening?
good
Hi,
evening. How
how's
are you?
everybody?
Ladies, I swear, you know what? We continue to say that, we know there is a silver lining because we do know there is a silver lining.
It is.
But even within that silver lining, we have to still be careful, especially if you're on the dating sites. And I mean, I'm on a dating site now. And it's actually, as I looked at the sites, it's the most popular one. But I ain't having
Yep.
no luck.
Shoot.
It's the
Yeah.
most popular one. Well, Wendy brought this topic to us, and I really thought it was interesting, especially, for older women. If you're truly looking, I don't want to say all older women, but sometimes older women can, be easily, convinced and, you know, um, convinced to do something that they definitely may not want to do because they're in search of love. So, Wendy, why don't you just kind of give us a little bit of insight into this topic about dating sites and what to be careful for.
Okay, so we're talking about the scams, romance scams,
Mm.
which just to give you some statistics on it, right? The FTC says that they have rose 80% in the last year. Romance scams.
That's a lot.
That's
So
uh,
these are the people who are reporting them, okay?
right,
So it could
right.
even
Yeah.
be higher, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
People
because
who are
some people are
embarrassed that
just
don't
too,
report it.
too embarrassed
Too
to.
embarrassed,
Mhm,
exactly.
mhm. But so there are, what do you want me to say about the different kinds, or how do you want to go into it?
However you want to, because what we want to do is we want to enlighten people because I think
Yeah,
that a lot of people are on dating sites today, and if you don't see you see a person's picture, you read their words, you hear their voice, but
yeah.
that's all. You can't really determine
Well, maybe
from
not
that.
even the voice.
Exactly.
Mhm.
You can't determine from that if they're real.
Yes, right.
So
So the 80% is just to give you an idea how widespread it is, okay? And it's just picking up because of the pandemic and all of that. Um, so there are a number of things to watch out for with these scams.
but let's talk about let's talk about what does a scammer look like, because it gives you a description.
Well, I'll tell you what the target is, what the largest target audience is for scammers. Let me do it the reverse way.
Oh, right.
That's
Okay. Okay.
women over 40 who are recently divorced or widowed.
So lonely women sounds
Well,
like.
and they don't have to be, they don't have to be, but they know they got some money if they're recently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's the biggest target. Okay. But
Mhm.
I gotta say, I've been targeted in this. So it can happen to anybody.
Right.
Mine was the military romance, the uniform picture. Okay.
Okay.
I the guy that approached me, he immediately wanted to go to WhatsApp. You guys familiar with WhatsApp?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's another place where you can chat, off
Right.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I talked to him, I chatted with him for weeks, maybe months, even actually. It was months. And he every morning it was good morning, beautiful. They call that love bombing you. Okay. Good morning,
What
beautiful.
is it called? It's
Love
Love
bombing.
bombing, I think is what
love
it's called.
bombing. Oh
Yeah,
gosh, they
it's
don't
like
mean that. I thought they meant
flowers, they
that.
give you virtual flowers, virtual flowers. Okay.
Okay. All
But
right.
number okay, let me go back. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. They're usually overseas somewhere, okay, stationed.
These
The
are you're referring to the military
the
people.
military one.
Okay.
That was mine. Okay. So, and he's going to be there usually, for some months or whatever. So this kind of strings you along. But pretty quickly, they try to get you to have some emotional attachment to them. Okay. So they talk about, that love, they want, "Oh, don't you love me? Don't you miss me?" This kind of thing like that. And you talking or you chatting. I don't think I ever spoke to him over the phone, but we chatted every day, all day for this length of time.
Wait, you never spoke to him over the phone?
No. But he was,
Wow.
he was like somewhere, I can't even tell you where he was. He was on the other side of the world, different time zone, the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
So he said,
Right,
Right.
exactly.
So the more I thought about it, he got kind of frustrated when I didn't respond like he wanted me to respond about being in love with him or loving it. You know what I mean? He got
Right.
Yeah.
frustrated with me. And so the more I thought about it, was like, this probably is somebody in the basement. This could be
Yeah.
it, with
Yeah.
this type of scam. And that's what it was. That's what it turned out to be.
How did you figure that out though? Let our audience know how you figured that out.
Okay, before I knew all about these different types of scams,
Right.
it's sort of like an intuition, if you will.
Uh-huh.
He sent me pictures, great looking guy. I started to kind of look him up online to see if he said he had a battalion of men, all these hundreds of men that um
That he was responsible for leading.
he was responsible, and he sent some pictures, But there's no telling where he got these pictures from.
They can snatch those from any site.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, this poor guy. And I said to him, "Listen, I cannot fall in love with a picture. Okay?
Exactly.
I don't have that kind of imagination." So he was getting a little frustrated with me, but he's playing the long game because I guess eventually there's some kind of emergency.
Oh, thumbs up.
Oh,
Right.
that comes up, and then they're asking you to
Right.
contribute to that emergency.
Yes, yes. And then you're gonna be so in love, so enthralled, involved that you're gonna,
You do it, which a lot of people
yeah.
have.
Mhm.
Is,
Yeah.
isn't that really, that's really sad how we get so caught up, and you got, and I have a story too. So caught up from a picture, because that's the same thing with me. I don't know. I don't think I ever spoke to him on the phone either.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea that it was and this was I don't know, this was before pre-pandemic, so maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I had no idea that it was a scam until I'll tell you. I'll let you finish.
I think they just started reporting these things. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
exactly. Exactly. So Bonnie, have you encountered anything like this as far as online scammers?
I have not, thank you.
Thank
I have
heavens,
not.
I know, right?
Actually, my daughter told me, don't go, mommy, if you're online and you're doing online dating, she said, don't go out with the guys that send you war pictures, army pictures, military. She says that's a scam. My daughter told me, so I never did it. I didn't react. So, but I mean, it could be anybody. That just happens to be one part of it.
Right,
But
that's just
I'm
one.
blessed that I haven't been.
Yeah.
No, that hasn't happened.
And see, that's a cover that seems to work well, because you're not suspecting that person because they say they're in the military. So of course, they're somewhere far
Right.
from you are 9 times out of 10. So you're really not, that's not something that's going to make you think twice that the person is a scammer, because he's in the service, so he's in Iraq somewhere.
What do you have to lose? I mean, they're not here,
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So this is so funny that this type of scam is exactly what mine was, and I didn't know it was a scam. So it says the scam artists often say they are in the building and construction industry and are engaged in projects outside of the US that makes it easier to avoid meeting the person. Same thing with the military. And more plausible when they ask for money for medical emergencies or unexpected fees. So this was a Caucasian guy, guys. He was in Alaska, and he said he was working on the pipeline, because that's still a big thing,
Right.
the Alaskan pipeline,
Alaska,
right?
yeah.
Nice looking guy, rugged looking, the whole nine. And so it's the same thing like you, Wendy. Never seen, wanted to go right to WhatsApp, and as a matter of fact, because I know it's more of an international thing. I think with WhatsApp, more people use it from international
Yes,
because it's
exactly.
free. Because they're not trying to spend no money. So
Well,
we're
not
not
only is it free, it's unmonitored too, where
right.
it's
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
we were
yes,
really
it
on.
is. You're right.
And I didn't know that at this time either.
Yeah.
So, little things just started to crop up and make me think, and still, I didn't think it was a scam. In that respect, I just thought it was somebody, I was being catfished, so to speak, at
Yeah.
that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I started looking around on other sites and stuff with his name and stuff like that, because his first name, I think, was real. So I found this guy in Dallas that looked very much like him. And let me tell you what I did. So I approached him and we talked like you did, Wendy, for probably a good couple months, girl. I want you to come to Alaska, blah, blah, blah. And the whole nine. Okay. Not that I don't think I ever went, because I'm always thinking about my head being chopped up and thrown in the back of a truck. But anyway, so as soon as I asked him, I said, "Are you sure you're in Alaska?" I said, "Because I see this guy in Texas that looks just like you, and he has a shirt like you." I went through the whole listing. Guess what? The last time I heard from him was that
Well,
conversation.
did he admit it? Did he?
No, he said no, it wasn't
No,
him.
but he stopped talking because he knew
Yeah,
she
but
was
I
getting
never heard
out.
from him again. So I think it was him, because
Uh-huh.
the picture of the guy in Texas was kind of blurred. I could still see he looked very much like this other guy.
Mhm,
So I think that it was him. And and 9 times out of 10, he probably would have been asking for some money at some point for something. I don't know what, but But yeah, and I never thought I just thought I was being catfish. I never thought it was really, this whole kind of scam thing, But it's so
I
funny.
thought I was being catfish. I would say, yeah, more so catfish than scam, but that's what it is. It's a
Yeah,
scam.
exactly. But it's so sad. I mean, I would love to know, and I think we may have said this before, how much money, if people are telling how much money they've gotten, scammed out of. I would love to know approximately how much money people have gotten scammed out of.
Look, if you saw that story on a guy who's now in Atlanta,
Right.
he got lots of money. I mean, he was living the rich lifestyle off of all these women giving him money.
Is that
Okay.
the Tinder
I remember you
swindler?
saying that.
Yeah, that swindler guy. But I mean, he did date the women and go out with the women. I mean, he made them fall in love with him. But at the same time, he had so many different ones. He would, I'm going out the country. I have to do this. And he's out the country. He's meeting somebody else and he's saying the same thing. And all these women are contributing. Oh my God, they're going to
His
kill me.
lifestyle.
Story. Yeah, his
He
lifestyle.
took it to a whole nother level.
I mean, he had the yacht. He had
Yeah.
so he's into it,
Private planes and
dating people
Oh my
on
goodness.
the yacht somebody else paid for, flying people on the
Yeah.
plane somebody else paid for,
Yeah.
watches, dress, every single thing for years.
Can you
They say
imagine?
dating scams are the most profitable of all the scams
Yeah.
in the U.S.
And would you think that? I mean, with all the types of scams there are, I would never thought that dating scams are the most popular. But I guess when like you were saying, Wendy, they attach themselves to recently widowed people because they may think that person, like you said, has come into some money or something like that. Recently divorced people because thinking the same thing, may have come into some money. But it's amazing how.
And excuse me, they've not hardened yet. They've just gotten out of a relationship, so they still want to be loved because they've
Exactly.
just, so they haven't gotten hardened yet. I'm afraid to say that,
Yeah.
when you're out there after a while, you get a little hard, harder,
Exactly.
and you
Skeptical.
start looking at the cynical,
Yeah.
exactly. They're
That's
not
the
there
word
yet.
about
They're
it.
just new out of relationship. They're like ripe for the picking.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And think about it, guys. They can really work multiple women at the same time. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it could be lucrative because you just don't lie. Right?
Exactly. And the pictures, and like they said, and one other thing that they did say is that most of these accounts they're not real, but you don't know they're not real. The pictures
Right.
that they have are pictures of someone else.
Yeah.
You don't know that they're pictures of someone else. You really don't. All you know is what this person is telling you. Either you're going to believe it or not believe it. And unfortunately, a lot of cases, people are believing it. So
Mhm.
let's help our wonderful, lovely ladies out. Let's help them out. Let's give them some tips for avoiding romance scams.
Yes.
So the first one is be careful what you post and make public online. Scammers can use details shared on social media and dating sites to better understand and target you. And that's just
Mhm.
what your daughter said, Vonnie.
Yeah.
That's
Uh-huh.
what your
She
daughter
did.
said.
Mhm.
Research, this is what I did, guys. Research the person's photo and profile using online searches to see if the image, name, or details have been used elsewhere. And that's exactly what I did.
Mhm.
Go
Mhm.
slowly and ask lots of questions.
Mhm.
Google Images has is a real popular one where you can look up you can use that picture to see if
What
it's
is it again? When you let them know, what is it?
Google Images. There are several ones, but that one's really popular.
Okay,
Google
good.
Images. Mhm.
Another thing, beware if the individual seems too perfect or quickly ask you to leave a dating service or social media site to communicate directly with them. I think I've been scammed, possibly potentially scammed a whole lot of times because they all say that crap.
I always say it first, and I'm not trying to scan anybody. I just hate being on that site. I want to talk to you on the phone and let's get our own relationship going.
I
But
know,
as I
right?
said, luckily I haven't done it yet. And I would say add one thing: watch an episode of Catfish. Watch one episode of Catfish because they actually show you how they find those people.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
that still comes out, Bonnie, that show, Catfish?
Oh yes, oh
Oh,
yes,
okay. So I
still
think I
comes
need to
on.
watch that.
Uh-huh.
It's fascinating, very fascinating show, really it is.
Okay, I think
Um,
I've never watched it. I think I need
Oh
to
no,
watch
you got
that.
to watch it
And
because
it
you won't
sounds
even
like, ladies,
believe some of the stuff.
it sounds
yeah.
like, ladies, if you've not watched it, you might want to watch Catfish too. But hey, guys, remember, we need for you to like, share, leave us a comment, and
Yes,
subscribe.
subscribe.
Hit that bell at the top. Click the bell because the bell will let you know when we have new content. And you know what? We've got some really interesting, thought-provoking content. And I think, ladies, this is one because the dating
Yes.
sites are really, really popular. Some sites have like Match. They have 15 million people on the site.
And
15,
a lot of people are lucky on that site. A
that,
lot of people are
that's a
lucky.
lot, you know? So a few more tips, guys. Beware if
Don't ever send money. I mean, that's kind of
oh,
Yeah,
that's
don't.
number one, right? Number one. Beware if the individual attempts to isolate you from friends that could later be from friends and family or request inappropriate photos or financial information that could later be used to extort you.
yeah.
Mhm.
Beware if the individual promises to meet in person, but then always comes up with an excuse why he can't. If you haven't met the person after a few months for whatever reason, you have good reason to be suspicious. And
Yeah.
That
when
on that other one that you said, Chris, about
what's that?
using information to
Extort?
extort you. There's another one about something about sending nude pictures, and then they might ask you for nude pictures or
Oh, yeah,
something.
they try to blackmail you,
Yes.
especially if they find out that you're really married. Okay, because that's another one I think that another way that they can scam you. If they find out that you're married and you're sending them provocative pictures, they can extort you in that manner as well.
Mhm.
And Wendy, the last one, and you said it already, never send money to anyone you have any communications with online or on the phone. And it's just amazing how women will just send money.
They
Well,
They'll
men
send
just
do too
lots.
now. We talk about women, but men do this too. They're
Right.
oh yeah.
Right.
Well, and you know
ridiculous.
what? Because women can come with some good sob stories and get men to send them a couple $1,000s real
Yeah.
easy. They start feeling bad and want to help them out. But
Well,
ladies,
there's a I forget which one this is, but they kind of show topless or nude pictures, and they ask for money. It's like a thing.
wait, you mean on the dating site?
No, not on the dating site. I think they maybe find them on social media or something like that.
Oh,
They
okay.
find their target
Uh-huh.
that. I had a guy who told me this happened to him, but I didn't really understand what the whole game
Just what?
was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it's eventually to ask for some money. And I guess they'll show him something else, So it's like,
So you show your body parts and then you're asking for money?
yes.
Look, there was a show on Dr. Phil, and he did an interview with a man who said, told, told his daughter that he met someone in Russia, and long story short, he married her. Okay, he never saw her, never met her, and she was supposed to be coming to the United States. And nope, she didn't show up. But they did find the girl, right? Because the man truly believed he was married. And his daughter was the one saying, no, you can't be married. You can't be this. And he said, I did this. I did it online. All of the things you can do online. She, of course, was the one who said, okay, you do this. And you send my uncle $5,000 and he can get this, dot, dot, dot. And I mean, this man was rooked out of so much money, but he believed all along, even on the show, that he was married to this girl. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
So, I
goodness,
mean,
how
and
sad.
that's not the only one I've ever heard that from.
Yeah.
I've heard those stories in a lot of those talk shows where women or men have just gotten the
But that
best
just
of them.
shows you how lonely some people are.
Right.
We have a lot of lonely
Yes.
people in
And
this
that's
world.
that's
Well,
a
there was a
target
professional
too.
football player that I can't remember his name now, but he was Hawaiian, I think. But he had gotten caught up in stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, the one we had talked about him briefly on one of our shows.
Mhm.
He was a football player and he thought he married this girl and his mother died and then supposedly she died. And he was distraught. But the woman was a fake.
Yeah.
But he was so in love with her. He'd never met her. They just were,
In love with a figment of his imagination. Oh my
yeah,
goodness. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Well, ladies, you know what? There are some sites out there that promote
Are good.
themselves as very good sites. And one of the number one dating sites is Match. And they have
Match.com.
Match.com, and they automatically filter potential matches by age, background, and keywords. So that's one way that you could possibly filter out people that you're not matched with that might not be right for you. And within that group, there could be some scammers, of course. But I read that for not for that reason specifically, because there is a site that has a system that filters out or catches scammers. And but what they do is, and they may be using that site somehow linked to that site, Winnie, that you were talking about, where they match the names to the pictures and whatnot. And if things
Somebody's
don't,
filtering those.
exactly, they're the one of the sites. And I thought that it was Match, but it's not.
It's probably eHarmony.
But let's just see real quick, because eHarmony is here. I thought eHarmony would be closer to the top of the page. eHarmony is number 5.
It's so expensive.
So real, yeah, but I thought that even with them being expensive, I thought they would be closer to the top. I thought they'd be
Do you think their success rate would be higher? And that would bring them up to the top. That's the only thing that's going to bring you up to the top if your success rate.
No, actually, it's the monthly users and the number of subscribers, because, and the reason I say that is because Match has 15 million monthly users.
Wow,
15 million. And then there's
a
this
lot.
other site, Elite Singles. They only have 2 million. Then we have Silver Singles. They only have 800,000. So it's more about how many users you have visiting your site on a monthly basis.
See.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here we go, Christian Mingle. Maybe that's what we need, guys. They got 3.5 million visiting their site on a regular basis. And I was surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how many of you ladies out there are on this site, but I've been on it at one time years ago. I did not think that Black People Meet would make the list.
Right, that was on that list. Yeah.
Yes, they're number 7, and because of the ethnicity of it, they consider it a niche site, a niche match dating site. But I was
There's
surprised.
one for Jews. It's one for Jews on Jewish people?
Is there one for Jewish people?
I don't know if it's on that list you got, but
oh, okay. Yeah, this is supposed to be the top 11. Now, the one that I was talking about where it sounded real interesting. The senior friends date.
Tell us about that.
I think that idea is good because I think maybe you might find less scammers when you're in that age group. I think at that point, they're
Nah,
lonely.
they playing
also.
bingo.
Yeah.
I'm not playing bingo right now. So.
Oh no, I don't want to play bingo.
Oh, that's the kind of events that they have?
Yeah. Members only groups organized around travel, current events, and bingo night. No, I'm not playing bingo yet.
I don't know if I want to go all the way out with them. So
But now, see, this is Zeus is number 10, but they have 12 million users. So I don't know what the correlation is there, but they have 12 million users, monthly users.
well, let me tell you, Friday at work, right? One of my regular customers comes up and he was talking about, you won't believe, he was talking about, what's that one? Swipe left.
Tinder.
Tinder. He was talking about Tinder. He said, I'm celibate. He says, and I'm on Tinder. He says, you will be surprised how many women are just nasty. Sorry to say that.
But that's what
But he
Tinder
said,
is. It's a
right,
hookup
but
site.
he found his girl on Tinder. And he said his sister found what? Her husband on Tinder. I said, what? I
Really?
kept saying, that site? He said, yes. He said, not only did she find her husband, they just had a baby, moved into a $1.5 million home. I am like, really? She lucked up.
That's the one that is, it has to do with your location or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a hookup site.
Right.
When
If
you're
you're
in
in
a
the club, you
different
swipe
city,
left.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in a different city, you can meet up with somebody if you want to.
Yeah, that's the one. And so
Well,
I was
it's just
shocked.
like all the rest of them, it sounds like.
Pretty
No,
much,
because
but that one is way out there.
tracks your location. It does some different things. Tinder
Mhm.
does not. Tinder is not even on this list, guys.
I know. I would not even think it would be on the list because it is really just a
Hookup
a
site.
hookup site, like you said. Right.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know.
interesting.
Yeah.
So Match beats everybody out in terms of monthly users. But I would love to know, and I think you mentioned this before, Wendy, what is your match rate? What is your success rate? How many people are staying? It's one thing to be matched up for 6 months, but how many long-term relationships are there being rooted out of this? You know what I mean? Seriously, how many
I think that Match has the right price point. They're making a lot of money because they
Yes.
have what is it, about $40? I've never been on Match, I don't think.
Match, they always have specials, but I think the app, the regular price is about 40 something else, 47 or something like that per month. But then they have specials like $23 a month, things like that. So I'm a special girl. I wait for the specials.
That's always around the holidays and things. So I think that they have the right price point. They're making lots of money. If they have started matching people on interests and things like that, or even what their relationship goal, like if you just want casual dating, they're
Right.
matching you with somebody else that wants to casually date, then you're getting a little bit higher up on the quality of person that you can
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. So
you may have to switch over to Match, see what it do.
I was trying to find, and I thought I had tagged it. I think, oh no, it's the yeah, that's the one. Elite Singles, ladies. Elite Singles, they have 2 million monthly users. Gender, actually, and 49% are female and 57% are male.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh, this is the one, guys. This is the one. It's Elite Singles. They have a fraud detection system that keeps seniors safe. This is the one that I was talking about.
Okay.
Now listen to this. So this might be one. This might be the one, ladies. Let me just read this to everyone else out there as well. Elite Singles is the dating website of choice for highly educated senior men and women who know exactly what they want. Singles over 50 can use this international network to find dates in their desired age range. The dating site uses an advanced fraud detection system to make sure everyone is who they say they are. So that's got to be pretty expensive.
That's good. Yeah.
I like that though, right?
I wonder what the
You
Yeah,
price is.
they all really should do that, but it would make it, they would make the cost increase for sure.
Well, they're cutting it. That'll be cutting into their profits as well.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. Over 85% of elite singles members have graduated from college, and over 90% are over 30 years old. So that's good to know. I mean, 30 years is not my age range, but if that's a starting age, that's a good thing because it's only going up from there.
Mhm.
It says on average, the dating site creates over 2,000 new relationships and welcomes over 381,000 new members each month.
Wow.
I don't know, guys. This might be the one to check out.
Might be the one, elite.
At least one time. At least one time.
True.
At least. So that's the one that has, and that was the only one out of all those 11 sites that had that fraud detection system. But you're right, when that cuts into their, look, they're not really, I'm sorry, and we said this before, these sites are not looking to make matches. They're looking to make money.
To make money.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And if matches happen as a result of it, that's just the plus. That just
Good on you.
That just pushes up their scale. That's all. But they're out to make money.
Yeah.
Well, everyone out there, I hope that you have found this interesting. I hope that it's been helpful. And I'm
Yes.
going to list some of the things to look for, some tips, so that you can have those at hand. And be careful when you're on the site.
Yes,
that
please.
catfishing, the scamming, all of that. Ladies, you have any parting words for our wonderful women out there that are listening to us?
I'm with you. I just want them to be safe and make sure when they have their date, have it in a safe environment. Where.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? But
Yes.
have it in a restaurant. Have it somewhere where there are other people. None of that. I'll meet you here at this clandestine spot. No.
Yeah. No. I would say do that like a few times before you maybe go somewhere a little more intimate. But yes, just be safe.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And use your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, if it don't, just pay attention to what they're telling you. Listen to the words that they're using.
Yeah.
And, motives. Just pay attention to the motives.
And you know what, guys? One thing that's true. If it sounds too good to be true,
Oh yeah.
it's too good to be true. I mean, he's handsome. He's saying all the right things. He says he has this. He says he has that. You have to. Some of it might be true, but believe me, there's a couple falsities thrown in there here and there somewhere. I met a gentleman on one of these sites, and I will tell you that. And I on paper, everything was just like perfect, just perfect. And he made it sound so perfect. Then I never heard from him again. So, but
That's weird.
That always cracks me up, and I laugh because I really try to at least, say something parting to it. Let someone know that you're not interested. I mean, just to ghost people, I just think is that's just, you're just chicken.
Rude. Yes, just rude.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Rude. Because no foul, no harm if it doesn't work
Right.
out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I don't think there's any etiquette on this stuff though.
No, there isn't.
You're right.
My thing is, you don't let them come to your house. Like Bonnie said, you go on several dates before you tell anyone where you live at. So if it doesn't work out, they don't know where you live at or anything like that.
Right.
Just tell them that it's not working out and you both need to part ways and move on.
Yeah.
One good way to avoid the scammers. So
Yes.
ladies, thank you so much for your input. It's wonderful. And Bonnie, I'm glad that you have not been potentially scammed like Wendy and I.
Thank God.
But
We were targeted. We weren't scammed.
yeah, thank you. We were potentially targeted, not scammed, because you know what? I like my own money too much. I'm not just gonna give it to some stranger. I'm sorry.
And I worked far too hard for mine.
Right.
You and me both, girl. Work
Yeah.
hard for it. I don't mind sharing, but just because you said no,
Yeah.
you might want to go knock on your neighbor's door and see what they tell you to get the. Okay, I won't say
I
that.
agree.
So, ladies, we will see each other next week. And once again, everybody,
Yes.
please like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. Hey, let us know if you think you've been targeted. Would love to hear from you. And you know what?
Yes.
If you have been targeted, also let us know how you figured out you were being targeted. Would love that information to share with other, once we know it's all about sharing information, ladies, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Ladies, I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful week.
All right. You too.
Beware of scammers.
Beware.